So today we are going to make this scene. Now open Blender, take the video editing panel, import our footage, adjust the end frame and first frame according to the video length. Make sure the color profile is in standard. Select your file output path. I made a new folder and named it something. Now we can render the animation. Render animation. This will render our video into that folder as PNG sequence. Now we select the VFX layout and we import the first image 001 to the Blender workspace, and the image sequence will be imported. Now select set scene frames and prefetch. Now click detect features, and in this panel adjust the settings to get maximum number of trackers, and now track the markers using Ctrl T and Ctrl Shift T to reverse track. Repeat this until you get a good track. If you reduce the value too much, the trackers won't be of good quality, so adjust according to your scene. Solve for the motion track we did. This is the graph we solve for the animation that we did. We'll get a blue line. So there will be some red and green lines that overshoot too much. Those will have so much error, so delete those markers and solve again until you get the blue line should be as straight as possible. Click set as background and set up tracking scene. This will set up the full tracking scene in the 3D viewport. Go to layout and adjust the camera to get a good perspective. Align the viewport to the perspective of the video. Yeah, now we got a decent track. Make a circle and give it number of sides as 6 to make it a hexagon, since the shape of the flat and front is a hexagonal shaped one. Model a rough flat according to the flat that we see and align it as much as you can. Change the rotation of the camera pressing R twice and rotating the camera. Now make a rough shape. Using loop cuts, extrusion and bevel options, you can create a rough shape of the flat. We'll be using this flat for just getting the shadows. We'll use this as a shadow catcher. And again we will make a cube, because there is a small part of wall visible here, so we'll make a cube, and here we'll use keyframes to adjust to match the movements of the camera. This is just for occluding the face that will come through those sides. Now I'll fix the lighting. We'll give it a sun lamp. We'll rotate the scene a little bit to make the flat straight. Yeah, make sure auto keyframing is turned off. Now yeah, we got a decent track of this scene. Now we'll create an icosphere. Give it an array modifier. Make as much as you want. Make another array. This time in different axis. Increase the array number. Now in y-axis. So we got a bunch of spheres. Apply modifiers to this. Now make it rigid body. Shape as mesh. Separate all the spheres by pressing P. Loose parts. Set origin to geometry. Now we have all the spheres. Adjust the size and position according to your wish. Now for the animation we use a force field. We'll first keep it behind the flat Animate this force field according to your wish. Now give the force field a value of negative number so that the force field will attract the objects. Animate the force field. Play with the values of strength and position of the force field to get a decent looking effect. I reduce the number of spheres because I felt that is too much overcrowded, and reduce the size of the spheres. I got a decent looking animation. Yeah, make sure to increase the clipping and value to something of higher values. Now we'll go to shading. First we'll do the shading of the flat. Create a new material. Take the image texture of first frame as the base color. Now UV unwrap it. Now UV unwrap it. U project from U. Now we'll shade the closer wall. Give it a hold out shader so that we can get a transparent view there. Bake the animation of the camera to timeline so that we don't lose the information. Bake the animation of the spheres too. Select all the spheres. Click object, rigid body, and bake to keyframes. Okay. Now the animations are baked into the timeline. And we'll shade the sphere. Use a subsurface to 1. Use a color ramp and object info node. We'll plug random to the factor of color ramp and color ramp to subsurface color. What the random function in object info node does is that it gives random colors to random objects in which this material is assigned. So the color ramp, we can control what all colors should be used in random function. We will give 3 or 4 colors. Since it's linear, it can generate more colors. Decrease the specularity. Make the sun lamp a little bit warmer to give it that evening look. Tick shadow catcher for the flat so that it will act as a shadow catcher. Make it transparent. Make another light opposite to the sun lamp. That will be our environment light. Make it little cooler and reduce the strength and increase the angle to give it soft shadows. This will give soft shadows to the spheres on the flat. Reduce the intensity of this light. Adjust them according to your scene. Now select a file path to save your animation. I am saving this as PNG sequence, and later I will be compositing this in After Effects. You can also compose it in Blender. I am more good at After Effects, that's why I am using After Effects for compositing. Here what I am doing is I am deleting all these nodes. Give render layer. Turn on denoising. Disable rendering for background layer. Background layer will be automatically generated when you set up motion tracking scene. In compositing, use a denoise node. Plug in noisy image to the image. normal, denoising normal to normal, denoising albedo to albedo. This will reduce the noise in the image, so you can use a smaller amount of samples if your rendering is taking too much time. Now render animation. So I composited this in After Effects and added some color grading and lens flares, and now we got the scene.